More missing emails from 5 additional IRS employees involved in the probes into the agency's targeting of conservative groups. Congressman Dave Camp, chair of the House Ways and Means Committee, is among outraged lawmakers who say the agency is losing all credibility. Camp says this, quote, "The IRS has lost thousands of emails, but worse yet, completely lost the American people's trust. The DOJ must appoint a special prosecutor so the full truth can come out." Joining us now, Cleta Mitchell, an attorney representing numerous conservative groups targeted by the IRS. Cleta, you have testified many times on the Hill about what's going on. So let me start by asking you surprised at all by this latest revelation? 5 more employees, emails lost.
I have gotten to the point where this is like one of those infomercials where they say, wait, there's more. I mean, just when you think you've heard it all, then you find out more things about the IRS. And frankly, I think what Congressman Camp said is absolutely right. There is no way that we are getting anywhere close to the truth about what happened. And the DOJ has become, in my opinion, complicit in trying to cover up what's going on. I think we have to have a special prosecutor if we're ever going to get to the bottom of it.
Well, let me read a little bit of what the IRS said, make sure that we get their statement in here. They said the IRS has found no evidence that any IRS personnel deliberately destroyed any evidence. To the contrary, the computer issues identified appeared to be the same sorts of issues routinely experienced by employees within the IRS. So that seems to say that these kinds of lost emails and crashed computers are not unusual at the IRS. It happens all the time. Now, you and I both know a DOJ attorney told Judicial Watch, which has also been hammering on this, just a couple of weeks ago, Judicial Watch says one of their attorneys was informed by a DOJ attorney that there's a catastrophic backup system, as you would expect for the federal government in case something horrible happened, that everything is backed up, but that getting to the emails would be too expensive and time-consuming, too difficult to do. What's your reaction?
Well, we actually had a follow-up conversation, my legal team representing True the Vote in our lawsuit against the IRS and Lois Lerner and others. And we had a conversation with the Department of Justice attorneys on Thursday of this past week. And they basically have walked back that statement and said, oh no, there's no separate catastrophic system. It's just that system that's overwritten every 6 months. Well, then we asked them, well, after you have advised us and the court that there is no backup, now we start finding out that there are multiple backup tapes that were not overwritten. Can you please find out about that and get back to us? Within an hour, I had an email back saying, we can neither confirm nor deny the existence of backups. At the very moment that TIGTA, the Inspector General, was testifying to or being interviewed by the Chairman ISIS Committee and admitting there are multiple backups that now they need to review to see if there's anything on those. So they're not being forthcoming. We get different answers from different people in the Department of Justice or the IRS and TIGTA every other day. That's why we need a real investigation. I don't think we have one yet.
I want to touch on something, a letter this week from Congressman Jim Jordan to the Attorney General, saying basically he said the department has a history of obstruction and obfuscation. He says there are unfulfilled requests, broken promises, that the DOJ is withholding material responsive to a committee subpoena. It is ignoring committee requests, refusal to appoint a special counsel, and ends up by saying these actions significantly undercut your promise in May 2013 to conduct a thorough investigation into this IRS targeting. The Attorney General is very busy with a lot of things, but we have yet to hear of anything truly substantive and conclusive happening on this IRS investigation. Why not, and who's going to force him? Is there any way?
Well, you know, the thing that is so discouraging is that he is the chief law enforcement officer of the nation. And if the President of the United States has already reached a conclusion about the outcome of the investigation such as it is, which the President obviously did when he told Bill O'Reilly back in February that there was not a smidgen of corruption, and you have a situation where they are still not interviewing the victims, setting parameters saying we'll decide who's going to interview who and we'll decide who's going to be interviewed and who's going to interview them, rather than saying, look, these are victims of what happened and we need to talk to them on whatever terms makes them most comfortable to speak with us. They have not taken that position. I don't think they're serious about investigating. And I think that now what we're seeing, interestingly, is that attorneys in the Department of Justice who are defending the litigation against the IRS are now insinuating themselves into the FOIA requests that Judicial Watch and others have sent to the IRS. Now in federal court, the IRS is now not even answering FOIA requests if you don't sue them. And instead of allowing that process to work the way it historically has, now you've got the same lawyers who are defending the lawsuits going over, and now they're inserting themselves and they're handling the FOIA responses because Judicial Watch was getting too much information, and they're putting a stop to that. That's what I've witnessed over the last few weeks.
Well, it seems like every week there are new revelations, and I know that you've got a long way to go, and you are fighting tooth and nail on this for your clients. So, Cleta Mitchell, good to see you, and please keep us updated.
Thank you so much, Shannon. I'm glad you're on this at all times. I appreciate it.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. Thank you.